Are we live? Yes, we are. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical issue. There we go. Oh, how is everyone today? I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day. Got some pretty cool stuff for us today. First, let's pay some respect to the spirits and the energy that's around us. It's been a pretty heavy, energetic day. And if you guys aren't if you're not familiar with this, you can look up the Schumann resonance, and that tells us how the energy is acting for the day. And if you have or utilize human design, genetic matrix software gives us a monthly overview of our specific energies for the day and the energies that are around us. It's really cool. All right, let's get the party started. Woo! So this is one of the tools that we're going to be hanging out and playing with today. And what I'm wearing is called a tensor ring. And the coolest things about these rings, guys, you might even feel it. Can you feel that? This ring creates a field of pure ionized energy. What that means is when there's a particle moving, that particle is moving through the space, and when it's ionized, it moves fluidly. There's no resistance through it. So this is a column of just pure energy with no resistance. And as you stand in that field, so I'm wearing this, now my central nervous system, my column, is in a field of nothing but pure positive energy. Feels great. And I get this tingling sensation coming down my jawline here and going into my mouth. Very cool. So one of the reasons why these are so important is because this ring resonates at the frequency of the hydrogen atom. Our bodies are made of those atoms. So it brings all of our atoms, all of our molecules into an aligned, balanced state or cohesive state. And in doing that cohesive state and doing that, it makes it much easier for us to be cohesive and create that mind, heart, and stomach connection. When we do that, tool fell. When we do that, we have some pretty amazing things that we can access. Not just streams of consciousness, but innate abilities that lie dormant in each and every one of us. And it really helps us to let go of the stories that pose limitations on us. So with that, let's get into some drum beats here. Here is what is this one? In the Heart of an Ancient Forest. My friends, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. Let me introduce some of the tools we've been working with here. So this right here is called an alchemist wand. And copper has some very, very unique properties. So this particular piece of copper is cut to 31.66 inches. So how I made this is I took a piece of copper wire, double that length, so 65 inches, and then I bent it in half and I braided it clockwise, and that's what gave me these braids. And then I took that braided copper and cut it down to the exact length that I needed. And then to make this particular design, you measure up about 10 and 5/8 of an inch. And you put your thumb there and you stick that piece there. Actually, you know what? No, I should have grabbed it. I could have made one. But you stick the long end piece into the pipe, and then you just wrap the copper clockwise around the pipe 11 times. And you get this design. So this pen, all you do to use it is you touch it to the physical, to the body part that's hurting, and you move it in a clockwise direction. And then you slowly start to pull it away. Like even doing that right now, my shoulder, this whole area is just starting to relax. I love that feeling. And then this little dude, oh, and this is just a smaller version of the Alchemist wand. This has 7 loops, where this one has 11, experimenting with different subharmonics. So we can think of 7, the numbers themselves are subharmonics of an octave of a frequency. So this particular pen, not only is it very good for healing in general by itself, but by having this coil of these coils around it, infuses it with that specific frequency. 7 itself is a very powerful magical number, used in a lot of different occult rituals and things of that nature. This one has 11 reps. 11 is the number of divine frequency, divine expression. And we can think of that in a very simple way to think of that is that it's pure flow. Like there's no resistance. That divine communication is pure flow. Which leads us to this little dude. This is called a Vaka coil. And what this does is create a toroidal field. And we can check these using a voltmeter. So if I had mine handy, I could show you, it would light up because there's a charge in here. But we can check these with a pendulum as well. So one side will make the pendulum swing one way. The other side will make the pendulum swing a different way. That will tell us which is positive and which is negative. So So it swung circle and clockwise with this side. And then it swung back and forth on this side. So that tells me that this is the positive polarity. This is the negative polarity. And this thing acts like a vacuum. So when we're using the negative polarity, what it's doing is drawing dense, heavy energy out of the aura field, like a vacuum. It's literally just sucking it up. When we're using the positive polarity, we're literally filling that aura field with positive ions and just blasting it with all of that positive energy. Very, very powerful. So let's keep playing with them. So let's see here. That's Jerry. Love that beat. How are you, Miss Willow?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Hi.
Oh, good. Hello, how are you?
I am very well. Enjoying some new tools I got to play with.
Yeah, no, I was watching the video earlier, the ones where you just made those wands. They look really cool.
Yeah, check it out. This thing right here.
Yeah, they look
I had a
cool. That's
pinch
the
shoulder.
11 ring one, isn't it?
Yep, this is the alchemist wand.
Yeah,
And
that one connects you to the divine, did you say?
yeah, so this connects to the energy field and pulls out any resistance. Energy in the field or resistance in the field is what we experience as pain.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that'd
in my
probably be good for me with my grieving and that.
oh yeah, this thing has been so freaking powerful. I have a friend who has really bad knees, and we've been using it on her
Oh, yeah.
knees. She's been able to. She was out running around, literally running.
No,
And then
that
this,
sounds really good. I have my arthritis and stuff like that, so I get a lot of pain. So that'd probably be really good for that as well.
oh yeah. And then this one's the same. It's just a smaller version of that one.
Yeah.
But this thing has been like, I don't know. This seems like more like a pick. Like it's very fine tuned. I was doing some energy work on my chakras, and it was like I was able to like scrape off residual residue that was inside of it. That was pretty weird, but it's pretty cool.
That's cool. That sounds really cool.
One of my favorites, though. This thing creates a toroidal field. Looks like a donut.
Yeah.
Just standing in it, or just being around it, naturally balances the whole field of energy.
That's really cool.
And these are super easy to make. So if anyone listening, if you go to sacredmeasures.com, it'll give you a list of the lengths and the frequencies, and you can make these and sell them. A lot of people do.
Mm. Well, I've got somebody that's going to be doing my Reiki 1, 2, and 3, and that means that I'm going to be able to become a master in making that. So it'd be quite cool to have a tool like that for people with pain and.
Oh yes, wonderful. When are you taking your course?
I've Sharon, my friend, her mum's a master in it. She used to educate and teach and perform it on people. But she said the other week that she was gonna train me from 1, 2, and 3. She's gonna refresh Sharon on her 1 and 2, and then do her 3 with her. So I'm getting all of the paperwork hopefully this week. So start reading it up, and so hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully I'll be a Reiki master. Be able to teach it and everything.
Yes, love that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That would be really cool. I am also a Reiki master teacher. It's very fun.
Yeah, it is. That is the one thing I want to do, is to be able to teach it, but I've always wanted to be able to do it on people, because with that sort of thing, you can do it on people or you can do it on animals. Sharon always wanted to do it with animals, to help animals, and I've always wanted to do people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do it on pigs too. I would Reiki had a bunch of roses, and I would Reiki them, and they grow really, really big.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I could use my energy to do a lot of things.
And that would be really interesting to see how the fairies like it too. I dig that. That'd be really cool.
Like, when they suggested it and that, they got really excited, and I was like, so this must be a good thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it is cool. It is, especially if I go to nature and something needs to be healed. I'd be able to do it with them instead of leaving it to them and me just putting water and things down. I'd be able to use my energy, because I already can do it. It's just having the master and being told, that'd be really cool.
And practice, like when I got my attunement, not really much to change when I got my first one, but when I got my second one, like things just started clicking. I was like, oh, I can do this. I got a lot of downloads, I guess would be an easy way to say it.
Yeah.
Connected the channel to where like they were waiting right there. Then once I made the connection consciously, they're like, bloop, there you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It'd be really, really cool. Allow me how to use my energy properly, because obviously I do my chakras and stuff like that. So the Reiki side to be even better, I think. So
yeah. And one of the things that helps with that is this little exercise. Clapping your hands real fast, rubbing real fast, slowly pulling apart. Feel that connection?
Yeah, I always feel the energy. I always can feel that warmth and that pulling.
Now,
you just feel it like radiating your hands.
Turn it into a ball. Can you feel that ball?
Yeah, you can feel it. Feel the warmth under your hands as you're holding it. It's strange. I've always been able to do it. Everyone's always said it to me. Like when I've gone up to them and they've gone, oh, I've had a bit of a bad back today. And I've gone, oh, bless you. And I'm like, and they're like, whoa. I'm like, what? They go, where's the pain gone? I'm like,
it don't hurt.
Always been like that. So I know that I'm supposed to be a healer. You know what I mean? I'm most definitely supposed to be. And when my mum was sick, before she passed away, and that where she'd swollen so much, she'd get loads of pain in her legs and stuff. And when I'd come over there, she goes, "Oh," she goes, "You couldn't put your hands on me, could you?" She goes, "You got magic hands." She seemed to take the pain away, so I'd have to sit there holding her legs, and she wouldn't be able to feel no pain or anything, bless her. But yeah, she goes, "You just got magical hands." I don't know what it is. I said, "It's called healing hands, Mum." So I might not be able to heal you from what's wrong with you, but I can heal you from your pain. So you don't feel it while I'm here. And she just, yeah.
Did the same thing with my dad when he had cancer. He was very afraid of being in pain. And so I had, at the time, I was working with 4 other healers that did, I forget what they call it. They had these machines, it was sound healing, but they had these machines that would project sound out into like any part of the world. It was very, very cool. So I had 4 of them for him, and he would comment almost every day. He's like, I can't believe I feel so good. He goes, I know I'm dying.
Yeah, no,
and
and it did. She would sit there, just sit up with a big smile on her face, and I'm like, "What are you smiling at?" She goes, "Of course, she goes, it's really good to calm for none of the pain in that way at the minute." So that's why she used to dread when I went home and stuff like that, because she knew that if she got it in a couple of days, she'd have to wait till I come back to do it again. So that's how I'd do it. I would just like put my hands on her, and I weren't trying to do anything. It's not like I was channeling into trying to take anything. I would just put my hands on her because I knew I had that sort of touch,
Right.
and it just took it away. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was really weird.
Sorry, guys. 1 second. Yes. I will talk to you in a moment about it. Can you not see that I'm engaged in something? Thank you. Love you.
Dad, did you make the nachos yet?
Not yet. I will make them after this episode. All right, guys. Nachos for dinner tonight.
Mm.
All right. And yeah, even this spring. So how we found out about these tensors, this technology is called tensor technology. David, I forget what his last name is, Hassan, I think. He's an archaeologist in Egypt, and he wanted to be an archaeologist since he was a kid. His hero was one, and he always commented about this little corner of the pyramid that he couldn't train. So one day, David, grown up, went to work, and the light happened to hit that corner just right that illuminated the whole picture. So David was able to see it. And what he found was these lengths the Egyptians used for their copper, their silver, their gold, all of these things.
Yeah. Hello, Sally Nina.
Thanks for coming. I'm so happy you're here. That's another healer. Oh. But in that, he denoted that this particular frequency, 177 hertz, is the frequency of the hydrogen atom, which is what our bodies are made out of. So when when I wear this on my crown, like I feel a giant column of energy flowing through my column, my central column, my nervous system, all of that. It makes me super relaxed.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. I really do need that at the minute because I've been quite snappy and stressed because I've been trying to sort out the business all week and trying to do everything else. Then my garden decided to embed rats in it, so they were all in my shed and they'd completely made a home in my shed. So I've had to clear all of that out today. So it's just like,
oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's been a stressful and a busy week.
Yes. So this particular ring will bring all of our energy, our atoms, into harmony with my body, the energy that flows without resistance. And I have a larger one.
Feels like that's something I need. Yeah.
Where did it go? I can't remember.
And what is it made out of? Copper.
Copper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to make these, you take a copper. So this one, 23.63, I think it was. So I took a piece of copper wire, double that length, so 50 inches total, folded it in half, and then I braided it clockwise. I stuck it in a drill and twisted it to get this braid like that.
Yeah.
And then I took the wire and cut it down to the specific length and then just brought the two ends together.
Yeah.
And when they touch, and if you put a voltmeter on there, or it's electrical to test electrical plugs, it will light the meter up because this has a charge to it. You can test them to see if they're working. And then from there, there's 6 different frequencies. Oh, and I found this out last night. There was a Viking frequency I just got. I haven't tested. I haven't made anything out of that, so I don't know what it does yet. But it was very intriguing when I found it. Lit up my sacral for sure. And this one resonates at the emotional body level. So this is 21.23, I think. And then I just bent it in this shape.
Yeah.
And you can experiment with these, and you can even take these. They're called straight line tensor rings or straight line
tensor rings.
And you can stick them in your garden and your pots and your plants, and it will help plant to be healthy and grow. And if you're doing any type of like gardening, you'll get a lot of produce. There was a farmer that did this. He had 80 acres. He tested it on his field, and he quadrupled his produce. He had so much food.
No, I've only got a couple of like real flowers in my garden now because I've got artificial, but they'd be really good for my lavender and things like that. Really, really good.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to grow my my little willow trees, two little willow trees in a little pot. So that'd be really cool to get my little willow trees growing.
Yes, that would be super cool.
It's my favourite tree, so
Love that.
hence the name.
Right?
It was given to me.
That is super cool. Huh. You know, taking one of these wires and making a wand from a willow tree would be pretty cool too. You know, taking the wire and
Oh
wrapping
yeah,
it.
that would be really cool. I've always wanted to get a willow tree one. Always wanted one.
Um,
Got about 4 or 5 ones here, but none of them are willow.
really?
Well, I think actually, I think my native one might be willow. That's got all the feathers attached to her.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I seen someone make a dream catcher out of copper like this.
Oh, I bet that'd be amazing for your dream state and sleeping and that. Yeah.
I want to make all of the things.
I don't blame you if it's good for you and it helps you and that. Why not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because actually, I made quite a few of these, but I always end up giving them away. And
Yeah, no, that would definitely interesting. That would definitely be something I'd be interested in using. Listen, I'm sure like channeling your energy into it and putting.
oh yeah, and if you put this around your water meter or your water intake where water comes into your home, it will purify all of your water and make it so it restructures the molecules of the water, making it as healthy as possible.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's very cool. There's lots of uses for these things. I got this idea for a cool altar. I seen their Magic Muna here on YouTube.
Yeah.
He created this charging plate. So he had a bunch of different designs of tensor coils, and then he epoxied different stones into them to make made a flat surface. And he set crystals on top of that. And man, the energy off of that thing was phenomenal. So my goal is to make one of those tops as my new altar piece.
Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd keep your stuff charged constantly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds really good.
So can you feel anything from these?
Yeah, I can feel like a warmth, like a strange, like.
Where do you feel it?
Like across, like here.
Okay, cool. Huh. This is so interesting. These things are so cool. And you could make
it moves around when you're feeling it. It moves around. It's like it circulates and goes to the areas that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah, because what this is doing is seeking
I've
out.
had pain in my arm and that, and at the minute it seems to be easing it slightly. So that's really cool.
It moves to where we feel the tension or the pain in the body.
Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's like here, I've been having that all for a few weeks. So I can actually feel it, because normally I can't really touch that because it hurts, but it's definitely doing something.
Love that.
I feel like a warmth heats up on it.
Cool. Okay, let's try this one. You feel anything on this one?
That one seems to just completely attract to sort of here, this area.
You're the third person that says that, so this must connect to the third. Okay, that makes sense. Connecting.
It could, because of the tunnel sort of thing, the third eye sort of thing. You know what I mean? But you definitely feel a pull straight away to your third eye area with that.
And when we anchor in energy, we anchor that in from the third eye down into the root.
Yeah, that's what it's definitely it hits here, and then you can just feel it radiate, and you can feel like a warmth, like I'm saying, going through your body. It's weird, just going to those areas and stuff.
That's cool.
I can relate. LOL. Sully said that.
right? Oh, okay. Let's try this polarity.
Yeah, no, definitely to the third eye crown sort of area.
That's amazing.
Expanding outwards.
You know, another cool thing that we can do with the third eye, any book or any type of content that we consume, we can connect our third eye to the other person's third eye and literally download that information.
That'd be really, really cool.
When I read books, I look at a picture of the author. They usually got a picture of the author on the back, and I connect my third eye to theirs, and then I read their book. I want their understanding of the subject matter. There we go. My friends, these ancient tools, so simple, so very freaking simple, and yet so powerful.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that this really helps with, like studying these things, we're studying alchemy, the properties of the essence of the thing. So the essence or the energy of this piece of copper, how does it function? How does it behave? And then more importantly, how can I use it to help people or to make life easier?
Yeah. I think that's important.
Exactly. And I've been really surprised. Like I've made this 3 days ago and I've used it quite a bit since I made it, but it does not feel like I have to clean it. Like every time I pick it up, it feels like it's brand new.
Yeah.
So
that's just the energy and because of what it's made of, I think.
Yeah.
I think that copper's a very purifying sort of energy. It purifies a lot.
That's very true.
Mm.
That's very cool. Huh. One less thing I gotta cleanse.
Yeah.
Happy with that. And thank you for tuning in, Miss Sully Nina. These are very, very cool.
Yeah,
and they have what's called a galactic ring, which is, I don't know, it's a big one. And I haven't made one of those yet, but what they
you
said,
could probably use that to open your head, your eye, like your eye wide enough that you'd probably be able to, communicate with energy that's not of here.
yes,
EP and stuff like that, because I have experiences and do things like that already, but I'd love to be able to get deeper into it to understand them a little bit more. So I think something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to make it. It's that it brings all of the emotional or the energetic bodies into alignment. So when we look at the layers of the aura, we have several different layers. Each one of them, when they come into an aligned state, our energy moves up and down freely. We're able to move into the higher self, come down into the lower self. When one of those fields gets out of balance, we get stuck.
It gets difficult. Yeah.
So yeah.
Like I'm open all the time, but I have my moments where I'm like look, I'm always open when it comes to communicating with the spirits and stuff like that. But sometimes when I go into communication with the ETs, it can be quite difficult because they're on another level and that.
Yes.
I have to go into some really deep meditation to talk to them.
It was Mount Moriah, I think that's what it's called. It's in Ohio, but the energy there got to be a ley lines or something there, because that was a very easy spot to meet and communicate with ETs. That was the first time I was able to really easily do it.
See, I think that with we have like Stonehenge over here. That's got to have something that goes through it. That's just got so much different energy that comes through that place. It's unbelievable, Stonehenge.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Beautiful.
That was a very weird experience going there.
Really? How
Very,
so?
very weird, but nice at the same time.
Right.
Well, I just remember when I got there and everything, it was really weird because like we pulled up in the car and that we was trying to find the area because it's all secluded off. So you have to go down this massive dirt track thing. And we bumped into some hippies and they showed us how to go back up to where to go. We didn't end up walking on the side where the Stonehenge was, but we walked on the opposite side of it. We could see it, but then we couldn't. So we got out of the car and we was like, oh, it must be over there or something. So we walked across this field and we got to this fence and we was walking around. Can feel all the Stonehenge energy there. I was seeing spirit walking around. I was like, yeah, we're getting attention and everything. And I was with these other people and that. We go in the gate and come back out the same gate. The whole of the scenery had completely changed. It'd gone from a flat surface to hill. There were hills there. There was a fence. I was like, hang on a minute. That one there when we came in and we've just come out the exact same gate. It
What?
literally shifted. It was nuts. The car was half a mile down the road from where we'd originally parked it, which was really weird. That to this very day has baffled me. And one of my gloves got left at Stonehenge. So I've got one here that hangs on the wall and they've got one still back there. So that they were obviously connecting or some, you know what I mean? Because I did see them.
Yeah, totally see that.
I've done a ritual as well. I've done a ritual because I'd seen a few of them. And I see there was 3 or 4 figures appear in front of me in cloaks and stuff. And I just felt that ancestral energy when I was stood there. I was just like, well.
That is very cool.
Proper giving energy out.
It sounds like what you're describing though is a time lapse.
But that's what it seemed like it did, because we know we definitely didn't change the direction because we walked into that wood bit and we walked around and we just looked and we come back and where at the beginning when we came in there was a board that explains what Stonehenge is and everything. And when we come back into that area, that board was there. So we knew we was in the right place. Went out through the one gate. It had one gate to come in and one gate to go out, the same gate. But when we come back out of it, it was not the same place. It just completely and utterly changed.
That's crazy. Love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yes. And my friends, that is all the time I have for now. I have to go make dinner before I get eaten by little ones.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. And don't forget, guys, this is every Friday. Oh, Lord. Every Friday at 7. And as always, from my heart to yours, there's much love for us all. So have a beautiful rest of the weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.